Okay, so in your yearbook folder, I have placed the template for a single page, not a two-page spread, of the supplement. We are going to be working in InDesign, so you need to open InDesign. InDesign, oh, let's see, ID, right? Here. So once you open it, then you can either Command open to go find, let's see, on my desktop, I put the supplement template. Now, the interesting thing about this, see how this is an INDT file? That means it's a template file, not just because I called it template. If you open that, it will open not just that file, but a new version of that file. So the first thing you should do is go up and save before you do anything. Then you're going to call this your name. Demo 1 is fine. You're going to practice with this. You can do whatever you want to. You can make it as a rough draft, or you can just experiment. That's fine. But save as an INDD file, which is different from the one you just opened. Right? Now, this file has a couple of things going on. One, you will see we have some information at the top here. You may want to set in your preferences your units and increments so that you are looking at millimeters, right? I am looking at millimeters. You should be looking at millimeters. That will be good. And you will see here that we have the red border outside of the white page. The red border, you want all of your full bleed, so everything that's going all the way off the page needs to go to that. The page is going to get cut right at the edge of the white line, okay? But we need it to go over so that it doesn't end up with a very thin white line at the edge, if that makes any sense. So make sure when you do a background, or if your pictures are going to go off the edge of the page, that you go all the way to that red line. 2, you are going to need to create some guides for yourself so that you know where the text needs to be on those pages. We need to have guides. Let's see. I do believe we are somewhere in the ballpark of 3 millimeters. Maybe. I'll look that up and let you guys know. Don't know where I put the ruler. So this white line, if you just go over to your ruler and grab that, it'll bring it over to the edge. That's 0. That's 5. Why don't we go with 5 millimeters for now? That looks about right. And then bring 1 down from the top as well, and you will see that makes a nice little square. 5 millimeters, 5 millimeters, everybody's happy. Do another one on the bottom. So bring the top all the way down here, which is going to be 5 millimeters from there. And do one on the other side. Zoomy, zoomy. 5 millimeters from there. That way we know we've got our 5 millimeters. So that we can have all of our text in here. Nothing in this area is going to get cut accidentally. Makes us happy. Luckily, we don't have to worry about page numbers, except when you do this for real, you're going to name your file your page number. So P01, P15, whatever, and then underscore and whatever the name of those pages are. We have to do them independently because the way that gets printed, the 2 pages aren't on the same piece of paper. So we need to have them each on their own letter size piece of paper, so their own A4. So that's why you don't have a double page spread. You have a single page. You can bring 2 of them up in the same, like next to each other if you need to, if you want to see what's going on. But for now, just work here and we'll talk more about it later. So that will get you started. Step 2, let's talk about a couple of things. 1, you're going to have some layers in here. Oh, fun. Things got translated. You will perhaps want to put text on one layer, images on another. You may want to group things together, however you want to think about your page, probably the background on its own page, these kinds of things, right? So you can also double click on a layer and title it so you can find things later. And you can also change the color if you don't like what you have, FYI. But then as you select the things that you put on the layers, they will turn that color. Okay, so now let's say I wanted to put in some pictures. I've got a couple of options. One, over here, is the rectangle frame tool. If you are not sure what these tools are, just hover, it will tell you. Rectangle frame tool, you'll also notice there's an ellipse and a polygon. We're generally not going to use those. We like rectangles. If you do that, you can lay out your, let's go with this, assuming we would have a background picture. You could lay out your page much the same way you might have laid it out in Jostens, right? Decide, and you'll, fun things, note that green guide that just came up. This is awesome, right? So your margins are now going to be, if I start here, when I hit that other edge, I can make that line up. I can make this one line up. It'll tell me when I get it right, which is useful. So you can do that. Now, these X's mean that they're frames.